South Africa lose the T20 World Cup final. This is not the first time I'm sitting here in front of you guys and saying this. We have to say that, okay, it's good that we've made three finals in the last 3 years, and our teams are progressing and they've gotten past that semi-final hurdles that they've been struggling to get past in the past, in previous matches, in previous tournaments. But today, another disappointing performance. And I wouldn't say that it's heartbreaking because it wasn't a close victory for the champs now, New Zealand. We had a situation where two new teams in a final, both haven't won a World Cup. And today, we were outthought, we were outplayed, and New Zealand 100% deserved the victory. But it's another final defeat for South Africa. It's another disappointing performance. And that is exactly what happened in today's game. But I'm going to summarize what took place in the match. For those that didn't get to watch it, I'm going to go quite in depth in the areas that I feel that we lost this game, where I felt we should have done better, where I think we did poorly. And then I'm going to get to your live chat and see what you guys have had to say. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. Please show support to me at least and Click Fanatics by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. I think, how many times have you guys seen me upset and sad on this channel already since I've started it? Thank you though for tuning in and always being here for me to be able to speak to when we have these difficult times, at least. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to the magazine. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. It's adaptable to all devices, and anybody anywhere in the country can reach it, and it's free. I made it free so that the reach can be get into all corners of South Africa that want to learn about cricket, want to be educated about cricket, want to be entertained by the content that we provide. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Good evening, everybody, or sad evening, everybody. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your live cricket show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we're going to break down the T20 Women's World Cup defeat between South Africa and and New Zealand. Okay, let me start with by saying this match we were completely outthought, outclassed, outplayed. To me, you can say that some of these players maybe perhaps did not turn up fully for this final. And I would put the defeat mainly the bowlers in the bowlers camp. I think that the plans today with the ball were not up to scratch. Particularly the I think particularly the complacency. There was some complacency here. The composure that we showed today with the ball wasn't at a world class level. If you want to win a World Cup, you need to be up for it. You need to be composed. You need to be switched on. And The bowling performance in particular for me was very poor today. When New Zealand ended, if you're going to okay, if you're going to put a team into bat that has defended well throughout the tournament, because ultimately this game was the best chasers in the tournament so far against the best defenders with the ball um, in the tournament thus far. It basically was the two best disciplines facing each other. If you're going to take the risk and be bold and trust your ability that has kept you in this tournament so far and got you to the final, which was our chasing ability. Throughout this tournament, we chased extremely well. Laura said it at the toss. The reason we chose to bowl first, sorry, is because we're backing our chasing. We're backing our ability to chase like we've done throughout the tournament. We beat Australia, one of the best cricketing teams that have been around, one of the best sporting teams that have been around for a very long time, for over 15 years almost, you could say. We've beaten them chasing, and we beat a couple of teams chasing this tournament, and we really looked good and composed chasing. But what we did well in those games is we restricted the teams to a chaseable total, a total that we would feel comfortable chasing, and majority of the time it was totals that should be chaseable, and we managed to get over the line and do so. But we're going to start with what happened in this match with the bowling, because I felt that is exactly where we lost this game. So, what happened with the ball? I think, particularly, what we did poorly today is keeping a consistent line and length. If you are going to bowl against a team like New Zealand, you better make sure that you get your lines and lengths right and you keep consistent line and lengths throughout the match. I feel that we bowled too many wides today. We bowled over 15 extras today, which is very, very poor. And for any standard, that is very poor. The, there were two leg byes, three no balls, and 10 wides we bowled today, which wasn't good enough. We failed to keep them quiet in the power play, but I also felt we played into the strengths of some of the batters. Like, for example, Susie Bates is really good on the leg side. And we gave her way too many opportunities to get singles and twos and etc. We didn't bowl to our fields. I don't think it's the field placing necessarily that we failed. I think it's more the bowling to that field that we failed. The lines and lengths that we bowled weren't consistent enough. We took wickets at crucial periods, yes, but we allowed New Zealand to score too many runs. It's as simple as that. On this wicket, the average score is 127. You want to keep them around 130, 120 if you want to put yourself in the best possible position to win a final like this. That's what they needed to do. But we allowed New Zealand too much opportunities to get themselves momentum in this match. We allowed them to knock the ball around and take singles and doubles, and then also not only that, get that boundary that they need per over. And ultimately it was a combination of Susie Bates, Amelia Carr, Amelia Kerr, sorry, and Brooke Halliday that ultimately scored the bulk of the runs. Amelia Kerr scored, Amelia Kerr scored 43 off 38, sorry. I don't know why I'm mispronouncing her name. Brooke Halliday scored 38 of 28 balls, and Susie Bates scored 32 of 31 balls. No one really played an outstanding knock for New Zealand. I felt that we made it a little bit too easy for them to score runs today. I think that's where the game was ultimately lost, in my opinion. It gave our team a hell of a lot of work to do in a chase. in a World Cup final with the pressure on. New Zealand ended up scoring 158 for 5 in 20 overs, a run rate of 7.90. South Africa did take, though, some good wickets. There was some decent bowling performance, particularly from Chloe Tryon. She bowled really well today, 1 for 22, economy of 5.50. And I think that she was probably the best bowler. I mean, Marazan bowled really well. She just didn't get a wicket. She got 0 for 25, an economy of 6.25. And Mlaba got her 2 wickets that she did, but I felt she was way too inconsistent with her lines and lengths. She was moving the ball all over the place. 3 wides, unnecessary wides that we shouldn't have gotten. Um, yeah, and 158 for 5 was just too much on this wicket, in my opinion. Then coming to the the batting department, we got off to the perfect start for a chase this high. That phase of the match compared to New Zealand, we won that phase. We got a half-century partnership between Tasman Brits and Laura Wolfart. But Tasman again looked like she was struggling at the crease, not being able to time the ball correctly. And they batted themselves almost into a position of into a difficult position, particularly after that wicket dropped. After we lost that wicket in the 7th over, Annika Bosch came out and she also struggled to get going a little bit. And we saw signs of what her form was before the Australia game, where she was struggling to time the ball correctly and get back on ball. There was a couple of dots in the over, and then Laura was under pressure now to score and hit boundaries, and then she ended up hitting the ball straight to the fielder. So that pressure built on the batters, and once Laura lost a wicket, it was kind of overs from there. Nobody else managed to get off the mark and score runs. Everybody lost their wicket, and it was a complete collapse in the end by South Africa. As you can see, our total was 126 for 9. That means that this team, even when they're batting bad, can score around about 127, 128, 129, 130. So if we restricted New Zealand to that, we would have won this final, I think. And unfortunately, it wasn't down. What hurts me is that we lost this final due to our poor performances and not necessarily down to New Zealand's great performance per se, with the bat I'm talking about. I felt that we made scoring too easy for New Zealand, and that's the problem over here. So I'm really disappointed with the performance today. It was nowhere near good enough. And I'm sure the ladies would feel the same way about it, that they would also feel really disappointed with their performance today. Because it is a different story if we're sitting here and saying, you know what, the Proteas gave it their all. They played an incredible match, but they ended up losing. But that's not the case in the scenario. We did not necessarily take it to the wire at all. New Zealand won this match pretty comfortably by 32 runs, and we lost 9 wickets in our chase. Amelia Kerr got the 43 of 38 and 3 for 24. She bowled brilliantly. She's an amazing cricketer. Always great to watch her play. And Rosemary May got 3 for 25, and they were the key bowlers. And it was always going to be difficult to play this team and chase against New Zealand. Some people might say that it was the incorrect decision to choose to bat first, given New Zealand's track record defending. But I don't necessarily. That's not necessarily where I felt we lost it. I think that choosing to bowl first given our strength in this tournament was chasing, that wasn't where we lost this game, I feel, at the toss. If you are going to take on a team like New Zealand at their strength, you need to be on your A game. You need to bowl tight lines and lengths. You need to completely throttle them in the power play. We know that this New Zealand team, based on their track record throughout this tournament, have struggled in the middle overs. After the power play, they struggle to score runs. So if you can restrict them in the power play, bowl tight lines and lengths, keep things very tight, you are then in for a chance to actually throttle them in the middle overs and then really force them to go. Now, we did a decent job in the power play. We pulled it back nicely. We did a decent job in the power play. It wasn't a terrible job in the power play. But then after that, and but I still do believe that we bowled too many inconsistent lines and lengths. And even Ayabonga Kaka, who bowled the last over, amount of wides that were bowled, the amount of inconsistency with the lines and lengths made it too easy for the New Zealand batters to just hit us and score runs of us. But also, we gave away way too many easy singles. Now, you can play well and get singles, but we gave away too many easy singles, bowling too short, allowing them to pull us over the fielders or just square drive us over the fielders, over the circle. We made it too easy, I felt, for them to get runs and put a big target on the board. So I'm really disappointed with the victory. I'm I'm very disappointed with the defeat. Sorry. Uh, I mean, now we have to move on and improve. I think that we need to learn from this now and move on. This is a different squad. We're probably going to be in a situation where we're going to be rebuilding this team now for the next World Cup. Some newer players coming in, and as we see Marazan come towards the end, Chloe Trine come towards the end of etc. Some newer players are going to come through the system as well, and let's see where this team heads now. Uh, I think I've said everything that I need to say over there on that. Let's get into the live chat. Bevan saying another final, another World Cup gone. Whether it's the Proteas men or the Proteas women, the story always ends the same. Sarfaz says, out of all SA collapses in the World Cup final, this was the worst. There was just blind hitting. Thinly says, poor decision to bowl against a team which allows defending and have the best spin trio. Sarfaz says, bowling wise, they did bad. Still, I believe SA were the favourites. Culprits for the match is Annika Bosch and Nadine de Klerk, says Sarfaz. I wouldn't put it on just two players. PBG3 says strategy has gone wrong. Too many easy singles given to New Zealand. Yes, that allowed them to attack. 158 is too much in any game to chase. Kelly says, disagree. We chased well all tournament. New Zealand were composed when we were not. New Zealand were composed. We were not. We lost the big moments. PBG3 says, body language was not right. Didn't see the intent to what? To squeeze. Too many extras. Yeah. I'm having emotions of sadness and anger. I never felt anger in other South African collapses as there was fight back in the likes of Kloosner, Miller, and Klaassen. Safar says, after Laura went out, nobody took the responsibility of a fight back. Nadine shot pissed me off. PBG3 says New Zealand would not able to chase 140 and chose to bowl. Strategy gone wrong. It's never down to one. Kelly says it's never down to one individual. There are 11 players in the team, and she's right there. I agree. New Zealand batters scores so easily, no dot stride. It seems SA already thought they are going to score 130 plus. The The game, the blame game is really unfair. Sarfar says New Zealand were not considered favourites for the tournament coming to the World Cup, but credit to them. Bevan says, I'm heartbroken, so tired. Proteas teams play well and then it falls apart in knockouts. I've been waiting for a World Cup trophy ever since I was 4 years old. I'm waiting decades already, every time, man. Yeah, it is quite sad for us as fans. PBG3 says, now I have to doubt whether SA win any senior cricket World Cup or not. Um, Sarfasism Laba was the bright spot I would say for SA in this tournament. Yeah, in this tournament she bowled well, but she wasn't at the best, I feel. She's a lot better than what she showed in this tournament, I feel. I know she was one of the top wicket takers in the tournament, but she was a lot more she can be a lot more accurate. She wasn't as accurate as she normally is. She needs to learn how to find a way to be constantly asking questions of the batter because sometimes she lets them off with a loose delivery. Amit says, hello, friend. Love you from India. Bad luck, brother. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. Thank you for tuning in. Sarfa says, many people in my country wanted SA to win something. That was the best chance for SA to win the World Cup. I don't think there's any such thing as best chance or etc. Because in a final, anything can literally happen. I said that in the preview. You never know with the final. Sometimes a team can turn up that nobody expected to turn up, and you can just have a great game. And the team that was supposed to turn up can have a very bad game and lose. So those things happen. It's just that why does it always happen to South Africa is the question. Why are we always the team that ends up on the losing side in these moments? South Africa really, really needed a World Cup win. It, it was one of our best chances, you would say, because I mean, both teams have never won a World Cup before. Both would have felt the pressure. So I mean, the last World Cup in South Africa, we played against the best team in the world in Jokers. Um, so this time around, I felt we had a fair chance to win this match. I'm just very disappointed with the bowlers today and the way they bowled and the plans that they implemented. I've, uh, that's where that really irritates me. If we bowled really well and concede and restricted them to about 140 maybe, and then we had a proper go at the chase, maybe I would feel differently. But we allowed them to score way too many runs on this particular wicket, almost 160 on this wicket. Our bowlers are a lot better than that. Dreamer says, SA main issue, no sixes, no fours, can't find. It's okay, well played. Um, Bevan says he gets so depressed. Yeah, bro. I was hoping that this was going to be a very, very good end to the weekend after United won yesterday. I thought maybe that's a sign that this is going to be a great end to the weekend. But it's another sad one, another disappointing one. And we now have to rebuild and look towards the next World Cup. We cannot have a negative mentality if we want to try and win a tournament in the future. We are going to have to find a way to now take it to the next step. The first hurdle was to get over semifinals. That semifinal droughts, going out in semifinals, the semifinal debacle that we had an issue there. Could never get over the semifinal mark. Then the next step was to get yourselves into a final. We did so with the Proteas women first, and then the men made the final. And then now the women made the final again. So at least our cricket is heading towards the right direction. We need to now find a way on how to take it over the line. This is not the same scenario as before, where we were saying that South Africa maybe had a mentality problem and ended up losing under pressure in the semi-finals. Obviously, consistently, it was semi-finals, semi-finals, semi-finals. We haven't been in enough finals to start saying that this is a pattern, and we can't we can't blend the two teams together and say the issues that the men are facing are the same as what the women are facing. I do feel that they are in different levels at the moment. There are still improvements that can be made in the squad and this 11 to this team. But the one thing that we definitely have in South African women's cricket is that we have a hell of a lot of great talent coming through. So we need to build ourselves up. We need to look forward, and we need to find a way on how to get over this knockout hurdles and find a way to lift the trophy, because South African cricket needs it. A victory today would have been amazing for South Africa and amazing for South African cricket. And the opportunity just wasn't taken today. It was an off day today. Bevan says, I can't take it something. When will we get a trophy? Yo, Alton van Dieman says, I'm so depressed. The bowling was disappointing. Gave away too many runs. Chase was too much pressure in the power play. Sad. Avin says, hi bro, hi Khalid bro, just not South Africa's day today. Yeah, just wasn't South Africa's day today. Sarfaz says SA women were clear favourites to win the World Cup, unlike SA men who were not. They had more going for them. I can say every Indian were rooting for SA. We all felt heartbroken when we saw Miller's face. Yeah. So that's all I have for you guys today. I think I've summarized everything. Uh, I'll be up early tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock, for the toss for the Bangladesh tour. It's 5 a.m. in South Africa. So I'll be up probably. I hope I can maybe sleep a couple of hours to obviously give me some energy for that match and for that series. But sometimes when it comes to these games that are so early in the morning, I struggle to sleep in the night to switch off. So hopefully I can and get some sleep before this match, and then I'll be up at 5 for the toss and to post the toss image and the team, and then we'll get going with the test series. And directly after the day's play, I will come go live and chat to you guys again, um, to give you guys some insight into what happened in the day's play. So we'll do a show after every day's play, directly after the match has completed. Thanks a lot for everybody for watching. I hope you guys, um, I wouldn't say enjoyed this episode. I hope I did a good job with this episode. And um, to summarize everything, don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. That really helps the channel out a lot if you can do so. Also, subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Tomorrow after the day's play. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody, and have a great week. Peace out.